Hello, thank you for joining me again today. Thank you for coming here with Happy Life, Better Life. And we have been doing a series called Unbreakable, the Divorce Emergency Survival Kit, Survival Guide, I guess I should say. And I've been doing like a series of videos, and this actually is video 7. I think I'm only going up to 8 or 9, but this is video 7. And the title of this video is Rediscovering Self. So before I get ready to get started, just please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if there's anything in this video that helps you, and I hope it does. Just, feel free to chime in. So, rediscovering self. For most people, usually when they've been married for a period of time, you begin to define yourself as the role that you have as a husband or a wife. And you really sometimes lose focus on who you are as an individual. Some people, maybe not so much. Some people, maybe a whole lot. And I know that for me, when I was married, my hopes and dreams really revolved around my husband and the goals that he had and what he, his vision for us as a family. And so when I found myself in this place where I realized I have to get a new dream, and not only that, I have to figure out who I am again. Because honestly, I had lost touch with myself in so many ways, and so many of the things that I like to do just for me, especially creatively, I wasn't really doing. I wasn't really writing, I wasn't really painting, I wasn't doing the things that really gave me joy. So I had to kind of go back and do my first works over and get reacquainted with me. So that's what this is about. After a divorce or separation, it can feel like pieces of your identity were left behind with the relationship. For years, you may have been someone's partner, someone's spouse, or someone's caregiver. Now you're tasked with rediscovering the most important person in your life, which is you. This isn't about fixing anything. It's more about uncovering the parts of you that you may have forgotten, that you may have tucked away, that may have been overshadowed even by the relationship, because now you got to figure out who you are all by yourself. So divorce doesn't erase what you've been through and who you were for all those years. It's just now you're coming into, it's not the ending, as I say, a new beginning, and you have new opportunities to discover the things that you used to do, the things that you want to do, the things you aspire to. And so these are all really good things. And sometimes we've forgotten who we were, and we kind of have to reacquaint ourselves with that. Sometimes we may have even forgotten people in our lives, old friends and things like that. Sometimes it could be for good reasons. Sometimes it could just be that you grew apart. But I will say during this time, rediscovering who you are is absolutely paramount. You have to do that. I want you to use your joy as a compass. Use your joy as a compass. Pay attention to things, people, places that make you feel happy, that make you feel inspired, that make you feel alive, that make you feel grateful, appreciative. These are all like breadcrumbs leading you back to who you were and who you are becoming. So pay attention to those things that inspired you, those things that you used to love to do, but you don't even know why you stopped doing them. You have permission. You have to give yourself permission to evolve. You're allowed to grow, you're allowed to change, you're allowed to reinvent yourself. You are not required to stay who you were yesterday. I know that for me, um, part of my healing process, that when I was figuring out who I was, again, there was two things I did. One, I actually did a vision board. And when I first started doing that vision board, I cried. I think I have a video talking about that, but I just cried because the realization that I had to get a whole new vision for my life after being married for 20 some years, it was like, what? Starting over, it wasn't something that I was looking forward to. And, but doing the vision board, it did help. It showed me who I was and who I wanted to be. The other thing I did was, I was just getting ready to say it. I started taking classes. I started writing again because that was something I was very passionate about. And I had already gone back to college, and I was in my 40s and I had gone back to college. And I entered I entered a couple of things into the student anthology, and I entered a poem into a contest that they were having. And I won second place in that contest, and I was so happy. It was so fulfilling to me because, number one, someone read my work and appreciated it. And I won second place, and they said that I had that I had missed it by just a hair as far as winning first place. But let me tell you, it was okay because I was so happy. I was happy. It was like first place to me. So there are a few things that I want you to do, just little exercises that will help you in the process of figuring out who you are. Number one, get a piece of paper or a journal and write down 10 I am statements. Like, I am courageous, I'm curious, I'm resilient, I'm loving, I'm forgiving, whatever it is. Write down 10 I am statements, all positive, okay? Keep this list visible as a reminder of your evolving identity and who you are, okay? The next thing I want you to do, for at least a month, each week, write down 3 things that made you smile or feel good or feel at peace during that week. Over time, you'll start to see patterns that point you towards the passion that you have for certain things and goals that you should pursue. So it's good to write it down. It's like there's a scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain. So you want to write it down, and you want to actually look at it and read through and see what's going on week to week. Like, what made you smile that week? Who made you smile that week? Where did you feel at peace? Where did you feel love? Where did you feel joy? Okay. The third thing I want you to do is date yourself. Pick one day a week to do something solo by yourself. Go to a movie, try a new cafe, try a new restaurant, take a class. Like I said, I started taking painting classes. You can even do a class at the gym if it's something that you want to do, like cycling or whatever. You can do that. Learn how to enjoy your own company, learn who you are. So these are the 3 things that I really want to leave you with. And if you're figuring things out, you can make a list of things that you're passionate about, things you always wanted to do. Maybe it was a trip you wanted to take. Also, if you were to describe, this is just a question for you to ask yourself. If you were to describe the new you in 5 words, like who you want to be, write that down so that you'll know what you're reaching for, what your goals are. How do I want others to experience me in this new chapter of life? Think about that. Maybe you feel like you were too passive before, or maybe you feel like you were too aggressive before, and maybe you want to be more patient, Whatever it is that you want to change, write those things down and make it your goal. Make it your goal. So this is an exciting time, you know, in spite of all the hardship and all the emotional ups and downs you've been through. This is a good place. This is a good place. You're getting to the good stuff. So I want to encourage you, as always, to live a happy life and a better life. And please let me know if this is helping, if this is comforting, if it's encouraging to you, you know, to know that you're not the only one going through this. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.